Hi there. I had several questions on number 20 from the homework, and so I thought I would go through how I would do this in my mind and then kind of write out my answer and just kind of talk through the entire thing. So, first thing that we're going to do is obviously read this through. I'm assuming that you've already read this through, but let's go ahead and read this together. Accountants often use stratified samples during audits to verify a company's records of such things as accounts receivable. The stratification is based on the dollar amount of the item and often includes 100% sampling of the largest items. One company reports 5,000 accounts receivable. Of these, 100 are in the amounts over 50,000, 500 in the amounts between 1,000 and 50,000, and the remaining 4,400 are in amounts under 1,000. So using these groups as strata, you decide to verify all of the largest accounts, 5% of the mid-sized accounts, and 1% of the small accounts. Describe a method for using Table D to select a stratified random sample of the mid-size and small accounts. And then I'm going to use line 115 to select only the first 3 accounts from each of these strata. Okay, so first thing is this one is very similar to this one right here. This is where we're selecting a stratified random sample, and this was where we were saying I need to be as specific as possible. So with that in mind, I'm going to dissect what's in this question. And we're going to start off with, where does this actually have the question? This one says, describe a method for using Table D to select a stratified random sample of mid-size and small accounts. Then we're going to use line 115 to select only, I think the only part, first 3 accounts. Okay, so let's go ahead and read through this problem again. We're going to take out all of the information that does not actually reflect either the first 3 accounts or the mid-size, small, line 115. So accountants often use stratified samples during audits to verify a company's records of such things as accounts receivable. Interesting backstory, not relevant. The stratification is based on the dollar amount of the item and often includes 100% sampling of the largest items. Again, this one's only talking about mid-size and small, so interesting, not relevant. One company reports 5,000 accounts receivable. Okay, maybe. Of these, 100 are in the amounts over 50,000, 500 in the amounts between 1,000 and 50,000, and the remaining 44 are in the amounts under 1,000. Okay, so all I care about are the medium and small ones. I do not care about the large ones. I do not care about the total. All I need to focus on are the medium and small. So using these groups as strata, okay, you decide to verify all the accounts in the large, okay, we are not talking about all of the accounts in the large. Don't even care about that. 5% of the mid-size accounts. Well, interesting. I don't really care about that 5% because I'm only looking for 3 of those. So I can take that one out, and 1% of the small accounts. And already we can see that we kind of weeded this problem down to just a few lines of important things. So let's go ahead and kind of write out, kind of reword in math symbols what we have right here. So the first one is between 1,000 and 50,000. 5,000, 50,000. I have 500 of these. Then, for the ones less than 1,000, I have 4,400 of these. Okay, so those are my accounts. I am looking for randomly selecting 3 from each. So maybe I'll just kind of write that. Take 3 from each. Or maybe take 3. All right, there we go. Now, we got to be as specific as possible when we are describing this. So we're just going to kind of go step by step in order to get this. So first thing, I know that it says that we're using those as strata. So let's identify those. And we're just going to say, okay, divide accounts into small, and we'll say less than 1,000, medium, and we'll say, what was that, 1,000 to 50,000. There we go, enough zeros. And then large would be over 50,000. Okay, there's our first step. Divide counts into those three strata. Okay, I don't care about the large accounts, so I'm going to kind of skip that one. Probably don't need to write it. We can do it just in case. So skip large accounts. Then what we're going to do is we are going to look at maybe our medium ones. So I'm going to label each of these 500. So label, oh, I almost did it again. Label each of the 500 medium-sized accounts and then what are we labeling these with? 1 to 500. Okay, there we go. I've got two ways I could go. I could talk about labeling the small ones, but I'll do that one next. With these, I am going to use table D at line, don't want to forget this one, 115 to select 3 groups of, well, let's see here. First off, if I'm taking random numbers from this, I have 1, 2, 3 digits here of 3 digits. Okay, so I've got my table D pulled up here. Line 115, where are you? Ah, there we are, right here. So I'm going to kind of divide this one up into 3 digits. So there we go. Kind of imagine that one, imagine that one, imagine that one, imagine that one, imagine that one. And maybe we keep going. There we go. Okay, now I need to talk about which ones of those am I looking for? Which ones am I skipping? So here we go. I'm going to go back to my kind of right up here. So I've divided it into digits. We are going to skip any number over 500. Okay, and what else are we skipping? And any repeats, because I'm not going to replace any, because it'd be silly to audit the same account twice. Okay, so I've skipped any number over 500 and any repeats. Sweet. All right, that is how I'm going to do the first one. I guess we could also say continue to line 116 if needed, and repeat. Okay, there we go. Second thing, let's go ahead and finish our description and then we're going to actually do this. Okay, so then I'm going to move on to my large or medium size account. So I am going to label, oh my gosh, each medium sized account 1 to, what do we have here? Oh, it's 4,400. Nice. Okay. So I've got 4,400, but this time I'm not going to break that number into 3-digit groups because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 digits this time. So I am going to use table, holy smokes, I did it up here. Wait, no, I didn't. See, I got in my head now. Table D, at line 115, break, or group numbers. I like the break part. Two groups of 4 numbers. And then we're going to kind of repeat what we had said above, because I need to be specific about what numbers I'm looking for. So we're going to skip any number over 4,400 and any repeats. And then I'm going to also kind of copy this idea as well. So let's go ahead and, did they copy there? There we go. That looks good. Hey, look, a double Y. Ta-da. That is my entire write-up for how I'm going to do that. Okay, second part here is I am also going to actually perform this on the first 3 accounts. So let's go ahead and do that. I've already broken this up into groups of 3. So let's go ahead and count those. First off, 610 greater than. But for 17, that one looks good. I'm just going to kind of write that here. For 17, there's my first one. 768, nope, don't want that one. 494, that's a good one. And then the next one says 322. Okay, so that is my last account. Those are my first 3. I am going to take those and we are going to say, we're going to audit accounts, and then I'm going to paste those. These were from and audit medium accounts. And then we'll do this just one more time. So let's go ahead. We'll break this one up again. This time we're in groups of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's keep on going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And this is where we got our little wrap right there with our next number. Okay, let's hope that we got enough. So let's go through this. Let's see here, 6,104, that is greater than 4,400. 1,176, very patriotic. 1776, that one works. 84, 94, no. 3222, that one, that is in our range. 4709, almost. 73, almost. 81, almost. And then this one right here, 2631. So those are going to be my first 3 accounts of each one of those. And so I'm just going to put that right here. Going to paste that. There we go. All done. We have successfully answered our question, and look at all of that wonderful stuff that I'm able to take out of that problem to try to narrow it down. But a lot of writing. Thank you for your time. Hope that helps. Let me know if there's anything else.